Welcome back. This is part 1, video 4 of my green guide. In this video, we'll be talking about combos. So as you guys know, green can combo with other spirits or give support, and it does that via Gift of Proliferation. Every spirit up here is going to want this card, and as the green player, you're the one that needs to determine who should get it. So what I've done is I've listed out a couple spirits. Now, these aren't the best targets, but these are the targets that kind of give you a ton of value in return. Ideally, I think Stone and Finder are the two that should always be taking this. I think Lure is another good target, but these spirits really can't help you as much as I think the spirits down here. I think Finder maybe should be down here as well. Finders can combo pretty hard with green, but I only have 5 extra seats. So, and I think the Wildfire combo is a little bit more interesting than the Finder combo. But okay, so let's get started. Let's look at the first combo here, and that's the Many Minds combo. I love Many Minds. This spirit is a spirit that's grown on me over the last couple of months. I always knew it was good, but I didn't realize how good it was until relatively recently. And this combo is you give them Gift of Proliferation, and they return the favor with Boon of Bedevilment. And Boon of Bedevilment says that for the rest of the turn, each of target spirit's presence grants defend 1 in its land. That means if you have, let's say you're targeting a land with defend 2, and now you also have, let's say, 2 presence in that land, and you get bedeviled, you now have defend 4. And this allows you to defend multiple lands, and it also gives you a presence push, because at the very bottom it says target spirit may push up to 1 of their presence. This allows you to gain access to those Sands Mountain lands a lot easier. I really like this combo. I think it's one of the best and also one of the most interesting. Another combo is the Boon of Vigor. Once again, you're going to give Gift of Proliferation to River, and River's going to repay the favor. Now, there's a really interesting opening change that happens when you're playing with River. I'm going to show that right now. So on turn 1, you're going to G3 with green. Put G3 turn 1, and this is only with River. And you're going to play Overgrown the Night, and you're going to get a minor card. Oh, let's see. Oh, I guess I'm over here. I'll just grab a random minor card from the top of the deck. We got Absorb Corruption. We're going to use Overgrown the Night, so we're at 3 here. Now we'll be at 1. Actually, hopefully we grab at 0 cost. So let's just say this is 0 cost. We're going to play Overgrown the Night, growing from our bottom track. Turn 2 comes around. You're going to G2 bottom, placing both of your presence. And now you're going to play your entire hand. And this is going to be the turn where you get your Boon of Vigor. So you're going to get maximum Boon of Vigor value. You're going to get +4. And you're going to get 4 card plays on this turn, hopefully maxing out your innates to some degree. So turn 2, you're going to G2. And once again, in return, you're giving River Gift of Proliferation. And then on turn 3, once again, you're going to G1 again. Oh, we're going to turn 3, and you're going to G1. So it's actually the same growth pattern as before, but you play a different card turn 1, and you how you're placing presences differently. But on turn 3, you G1, placing a presence from bottom track, and once again, you're going to have another card play, or you're going to have another card gain, and you'll have 4 card plays. So this combo enables green to play 4 cards turn 2 and 3 instead of 3 cards. So it net gains you +2 card plays for the entire +2 card plays that had occurred the entire game with this combo, which is pretty cool. Another combo that a lot of people, they talk it up. It's actually not that good, but it's worthy to note, and that's the Shroud combo. Flowing and silent forms dart by. What's really important is this bottom one. It says when presence in target land would be destroyed by its owner, or would be destroyed, its owner may, if possible, instead push that presence. That's really important because that allows green to utilize its special rule, and instead of just destroying the presence then gets pushed. And as you know with Bedevilment, pushing your presence is great, but now this doesn't even destroy your presence. That's pretty awesome. Shroud is one of the weaker spirits in the game, so giving them Gift of Proliferation is going to boost the spirit up to a power that's where it should have been Another interesting interaction is Shroud's damage can stick in lands, and you have a lot of single point damage on both your left innate and on your stem. This isn't as important, but it may matter in some games. A lot of times Shroud has so many problems on its own board, it's very hard for it to branch out without sacrificing its board state. So it's very. I have yet to really see a Shroud player come onto my board as green and help me out and utilize this and this combined with just green's points of damage. I would love to play with a player that can do that, but I have yet to actually see someone utilize it. So my only conclusion is this: in order for Shroud to do that, it would sacrifice so much of its game plan that it's actually weaker than not doing that. But I want to at least mention it. So the next spirit is Fractured, and that's Stem the Flow of Time. I'm not going to dive too deep into what this power does because or what Fractured does, because Fractured's very complicated and that would warrant its own video. But basically what this innate lets us do is it allows green to grab Gift of Proliferation back into its hand and then replay it again. So you can play Gift of Proliferation multiple times. This green plus Fractured is probably the best combo in the entire game. That's better than any other combo out here. The reason is you do green. I'm just going to put G for green, Fractured, and then you have any other question mark, and that will be your other spirit. What other spirit you pick here, you can just proliferate them four times with this combo, and you can basically clear out their tracks. So imagine you're playing Stone, right? And turn 2, you're at 6 energy and 3 plays, right? I mean, there's tons of crazy. This question mark can be literally anything, and you'll dominate. I know Ray has some games where he did Fractured, Green, and Vengeance, and he was beating 6/6s pretty easily with that combination, and he just emptied Vengeance's tracks, and then Vengeance just did a ton of stuff. It's a very powerful combo because Green is a stall spirit, and Fractured also is a stall spirit. So when you add in a third spirit that can do damage or has other tools, it just breaks the game. The last combo I want to talk about is... Oh, so one last thing with Fractured is you can also do that slip and affect Stem the Flow, which, once again, remember, if you can repeat this card, you can do 1 damage to all buildings in a mountain or sands, so you can just completely wipe out a zone. We're now going to look at the last one, and that's Wildfire. I really like this combo. I think it's actually the coolest out of all of them that I've mentioned. Flame's Fury, targeting green, giving +1 damage to every time you utilize this left innate is pretty awesome. So if you max this innate out, you have 3 thresholds of the innate, you're going to get +1 damage on all levels of it. So you end up doing 6 damage, which is pretty cool for one card. Also, what's pretty cool is when you use Gift of Proliferation on Wildfire, you trigger Wildfire's special rule, which allows Wildfire to damage the land and kill invaders. It's not... There are better combos, but I think this is one of the cooler ones. So I'll leave it at that. Let's look at these other spirits. I have Stone and Finder up here because I think those are, or Stone, Finder, and Lure up here because I think those are the best spirits to be proliferated. One of the combos that Lure has with green, and you'll see this in Russia, is Lure has rules that allow it to ignore Russia explorers, and green has a really tough time in that matchup. So what I like doing is I'll give this proliferation to Lure to put presence on my board as green such that I can help manage the explorers better. Honestly, 1 or 2 presence from Lure will make this matchup far easier for green because the matchup is very challenging. I have Earth up here because Earth can hit this threshold pretty early on, and that allows you to repeat a power card that costs 1 or less. And what costs 1 or less? Oh, Gift of Proliferation. So we get to combo that, and you can proliferate a lot quicker earlier. I have Downpour up here for a very similar reason. So Downpour has Gift of Abundance, and Gift of Abundance allows the player that is targeted by this to repeat one of their cards. Oh look, you get to repeat Gift of Proliferation. It also has this other rule where it says either you or target spirit may add one of their destroyed presence to a wetland where you have presence. This is almost exclusively a Downpour rule. Not Downpour rule, like Downpour should take this clause just based on how Downpour is designed. But there is some synergy with green that I should point out. Okay, let's see if I missed any other spirits. Once again, any of these spirits up here would love getting proliferated. It's just I think the spirits down here are just a little bit better. They can offer more to green. Oh, I guess Lure and Stone shouldn't be up here either because I just brought them down. Oh, so one thing to look at, a lot of people really like proliferating Snake. I actually think that's one of the weaker targets, and the main reason is just how Snake is designed. In order to obtain advantage from getting proliferated as Snake, you need to reach that 6/4, right? Because that's when you kind of unlock, and all of that growing throughout the game finally pays off. One proliferate just puts you one turn ahead, and I believe it's turn like 7, right? 6. It's like turn 7 to 8 is when you unlock as Snake, right? So you would need to proliferate Snake like 2 to 4 times to really. I actually think it's more than 2. It's probably like 3 times for it to really matter. And while you're proliferating Snake, Snake's not actually helping you out in return, as well as Snake isn't like receiving the payoff of proliferation. If you proliferate River, Many Mines, Finder, Stone, they immediately get value. You proliferate Snake, you got to wait 5 turns, and it's a problem that a lot of players, they immediately jump to do this, and I think it's a big mistake. You should never. In my games, I tell people, you probably shouldn't do that, just because you won't actually reach that payoff. Let's see if there's any other ones. Volcano, I mean, it's kind of nice being able to build up the volcano faster for volcanoes so that they can do a bigger eruption sooner. I mean, I like proliferating these spirits. These are all strong spirits that love proliferation. Just giving things back to green, once again, it's just not really possible. All right, I think that concludes this video. In the next video series, we will begin playing against the adversaries. See you then.